Ever since Son Goku and friends saved Earth from the evil Majin Buu, humanity is living in peace again. At the 28th Tenkaichi Budokai, Son Goku met Oob, the reincarnated Majin Buu. Over the course of 3 years, Goku taught Oob martial arts and readied him to protect the peace. However, evil forces are always leering at Earth. 3 years have passed. In age 787, the Tenkaichi Budokai is held once again. Majin Buu, Mr. Satan, and B can be seen lounging in the living room while an ad for the World Tournament plays in the background, with the announcer saying that the 29th World Tournament will be held in half a month and is expected to be the greatest martial arts tournament ever. Looking back at the previous Tenkaichi Budokai, following the withdrawal of Son Goku and Oob, participant Vegeta also withdrew from the competition. Trunks, champion of the 25th Tournament's Junior Division, easily defeated Adaosuke and advanced to the semifinals. Pan, who proved to be a martial arts genius at only 4 years old, unexpectedly defeated the tall and mighty Mokeko. As expected, the most splendid battle was between the runner-up at the 25th Tournament's Junior Division, Son Goten, and Mr. Satan's outstanding disciple, Mr. Buu. But in the end, Son Goten lacked the skills to win this fierce fight. And the most interesting match was between the prodigy Pan and Mr. Buu. Pan suddenly needed to pee and started crying loudly. Reluctantly, Mr. Buu could only carry her off the stage. Afterward, Mr. Buu and Trunks fought for a ticket to the finals, a climactic match against Mr. Satan. Trunks fought bravely and furiously, but could not win against Mr. Satan's great disciple. In this ultimate match, Mr. Buu challenged his master, Mr. Satan. One strong and mighty, the other lazy and careless. In the end, Mr. Satan was once again able to defend his champion status. In 2 weeks, during the next World Martial Arts Tournament, what kind of challenges will Mr. Satan face? In the blink of an eye, those 2 weeks would come and go, and the World Tournament was underway. Gohan, Goten, Krillin, 18, Trunks! Within the tournament grounds, we see a familiar reunion taking place. All of them finally back together. And for Trunks, it seems the acorn does not fall far from the tree, as Goten appears to have outgrown him. Chi-Chi and Bulma are looking good as always, and Krillin... Gohan's there too, with Videl and Pan as they greet him as well. Where's Goku? Why isn't he here yet? Huh, he's scared of fighting me, of course. Little Pan interjects and says, "That's crap, my grandpa isn't afraid of you." Gohan reminds his daughter to mind her manners and says that Goku recently contacted them and he's going to be coming with Oob. Krillin asks Oob, the kid Goku took off with last time? As chants for Mr. Satan break out in the background. Ha ha ha! Hey everybody! Mr. Satan and his clearly still inferior disciple arrive. While chaos continues to engulf the arena, the announcer asks them to quiet down so Mr. Satan can say a few words. Mr. Satan! What do you think your chances are at today's Tenkaichi Budokai? What I want to say is, no matter how big the tournament, no matter how great the fighters, I will always be the world champion, Mr. Satan! Krillin comments to his wife how our big hero is talking crap again, but generally gets a kick out of it. 18 says he must be glad that she's not participating this time around. Videl, on the other hand, is a little ashamed by her father's behavior. Hey, as usual, you'll defeat all the competitors, and then... Majin Buu cuts him off to say his prize will be roasted pork. Happy to oblige, Mr. Satan says sure, I'll get you one every day, but Majin Buu demands 5, to which the world champ bulks at, stating that these things are super expensive. Sassing back, his disciple says that he can just pay for it with his championship money. As Majin Buu begins to walk away, Mr. Satan still tries to talk him down. After a short while, he realizes that he's getting mad, so he finally agrees, 5 it is. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please! Qualification registration will begin soon! Continuing, the announcer says that thanks to the almighty Mr. Satan, this tournament is being sponsored by a lot of companies, especially by the Capsule Corporation, that has provided the Combat Capability Analyzer, its latest development in combat technology. A machine that doesn't only analyze the combat capability of participants, it's also capable of detecting the speed of said person, and of reflecting the combat prowess of participants accurately. As Bulma brags to Chi-Chi that this isn't even the latest version, the announcer continues that Ms. Bulma, the president of Capsule Corp, is now sitting on the balcony. Her husband and son will both be participating in the tournament. Trunks snickers to Goten that machine isn't useful at all, while Vegeta just wonders why Goku has yet to arrive. A tournament official announces that registration is now open, and all participants should register at the counter. Krillin is once again wondering where Goku is when Majin Buu happens by. While the two excitedly greet each other, Trunks tells Vegeta that they need to register quickly, but the Prince of All Saiyans says that if Kakarot isn't coming, he's not participating either. And as if his ears themselves were burning, Son Goku arrives. While everybody rushes towards him, Goten comments on how much Oob has grown. Goku elaborates that he and Oob have been training at Kami's place, and Piccolo says hi. He couldn't come because unfortunately he had something else he had to take care of. As they all rush to register, Majin Buu can't shake a weird feeling he has about Oob. Sensing Kid Buu within him, he believes he can't face him in battle, or else. That's when the announcer calls all participants to the ring. In this tournament, we will be using a new qualification method. The Combat Capability Analyzer will first be used to estimate the battle capability of each participant. The top 16 fighters will then enter the tournament after a ballot to decide on the matches. Finally, the winner of the elimination matches will face Mr. Satan in the finale. The victor will be crowned the champion of the 29th Tenkaichi Budokai. Let the qualification round begin! Let's welcome Mr. Satan to try out the machine! Mr. Satan walks towards the analyzer as confident as only the world champ can. As the crowd cheers him on, the announcer reads his results. Amazing punch! Here are the numbers! Strength 145, speed 40, prowess 34! Definitely the high score of a world champion! Acting as his own hype man, the world champ announces that he's still the one and only Mr. Satan. As the other contestants step up to the plate, none of them prove as impressive of results. That is until Krillin and the other Z fighters get their turn, leaving some to believe the machine must be broken. As even more fighters score mediocre scores, the young Pan approaches for her turn, who's so little she can't even reach the machine. As Gohan gives her a boost, she sends everybody's minds boggling, setting the exact same score as the world champ, Mr. Satan. The crowd roars in approval. Goten and Trunks talk amongst each other of the best method to go about this. Trunks believes they shouldn't pass Mr. Satan's score because they don't want the extra attention. So Goten has the idea to try to hit the same value as Mr. Satan to see who can control their power better. Trunks agrees and Goten is called up for his turn. Participant Son Goten was the runner-up in the junior rank of the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai. As Goten strikes, he hits the exact score as Mr. Satan. On the outside, Trunks congratulates his friend, but on the inside, he knows he can't lose to him. But to his own credit, he scores the exact same. Wow! He also hits the same score as Mr. Satan! Definitely a junior champion! Then Oob is finally brought to the spotlight. Goku tells him to remember to reduce his power, but the young warrior still seems rather timid. Clearly overthinking the situation, he wonders how much he should reduce his power, eventually deciding to only use half. But only half is more than enough to blow the machine away. Either trying to downplay the situation or genuinely ignorant, the announcer says, "Ladies and gentlemen," for no apparent reason, the machine has suddenly exploded. As Oob tries to profusely apologize, Goku comes along and says it's okay, the machine just wasn't sturdy enough. Though Bulma in the crowd has a slightly different temperament towards the situation. Declaring the qualifications over, they will now proceed to the matches. The crowd hushes to a quiet. As far away, a sinister presence looks in on the situation, spotting both Buu and Oob in his crystal ball. Who exactly are you looking for? That's him! That's the one! Okay. So let's proceed. The participants who proceed to the matches will, according to the rules of the tournament, participate in a ballot to decide their respective opponents. The finalists include Krillin, Nebu, AJ, Vegeta, Son Goten, Trunks, Pan, Dacus, Joseph, Oob, Mr. Buu, Son Goku, Ichin, Cyclops, Jackson, and Pierre. On the balcony, Chi-Chi tells Bulma that she heard the prize money will be increased this year. Bulma confirms this by saying it's going to be 200 million zenny. Going into further detail, second place gets 100 million, third place gets 50 million, fourth place 20, and fifth place 10. Then of course the trophies as well. Getting caught up in her own fantasy of Goku, Goten, and Pan winning it all, that's 350 million zenny. But ever the humble bragger, Bulma says 350 million is nothing. That machine I sponsored alone is worth at least 700 million. Participant Krillin, please proceed to the ballot box. Just hoping he doesn't draw any of his friends in the first round, he gets number 10, which sets him up against some stranger with a bad attitude. Trunks is the next to take his number, but Goten has the complete opposite strategy as Krillin, wanting to fight Trunks in the first round. He draws 11 as Goten goes up himself and draws 12. Happy with the results, everybody else draws after. Joseph number 6, Cyclops number 5, Nebu 8, Jackson 2, and Pierre 3. before Pan comes up and draws 7. So far on the bracket, this leaves only Goten and Trunks, the familiar faces, to fight each other, with numbers 1, 14, 15, and 16 still open. And next up is Goku, who seems to be up to a little bit of trickery, as he asks Majin Buu to match him up with Oob. Happy to comply, Goku draws 16. But Vegeta has a plan of his own and thinks this is a great chance to get matched up with Goku in the first round. And he asks Majin Buu to do just that. But he knows if he does so, he'll A, be going against what he just told Goku, and B, he'll be matched up against Oob, which he cannot allow. So he simply tells Vegeta, nope. Oob steps up and draws 15. That leaves Vegeta with 14 and Buu with 1. Still giving Vegeta a chance to face Goku in the second round. With the bracket set, the fighters head backstage as the announcer explains the rules. Mr. Satan takes note that Majin Buu will have to face nobody of immense strength other than Pan all the way to the semifinals, thinking he'll have no problem becoming champion once more. The announcer states that in this tournament, every battle has a time limit of 30 minutes. If no winner has been decided within that time limit, the judges will step in. You are defeated when you surrender, lay on the floor for more than 10 seconds, or get knocked off the stage. And obviously, killing your opponent will result in disqualification. He also urges the crowd not to yell at the contestants as to not distract them. And finally, that the tournament will soon begin. Bringing the first set of fighters onto the stage, it's Majin Buu versus Jackson. Buu appears to be his regular happy-go-lucky self, but his opponent looks rather intense. Though maybe that's an overestimation, as he didn't even bother spitting out his chewing gum before the fight. Spotting him blow a bubble, Buu asks if that's something tasty. It's chewing gum. You want some? Excited with his mouth watering, Buu says yeah. And that's when the jerk takes the opportunity to spit the gum right in Buu's face. Buu tells him that he's not a nice person and he was very impolite to him, and he's gonna kick his ass. Furious and narrowing his eyes, he says, let's teach you a lesson. I'm waiting. But lucky for him, he doesn't have to wait long, and he still gets to keep his head as Buu just hits him out of the ring. The crowd cheers for Mr. Buu. Round 1! Mr. Satan's great disciple effortlessly defeated Jackson. Next up, Pierre versus Dacus. From backstage, the announcer can be heard saying Pierre and Dacus are equally strong, and it seems they won't have a winner soon. Goten asks Trunks how he thinks they should do this. Remembering how they weren't allowed to transform into Super Saiyan when they fought during the junior finals, he wants to honor that same rule this year. Goten agrees, but Jess said he better not cheat like last time. Trunks reminds him that Goten was the one that transformed first. Pan's future opponent can be seen hassling her, saying he could just squish her with a single punch and she better just forfeit. Okay, Pierre just knocked Dacus off the stage. Pierce has won the second round. Next, we have Cyclops versus Joseph. These two participants have the same prowess. It'll be a thrilling battle. Huh, more like boring battle. And with just one punch, Cyclops is able to win the match. Participant 7 Pan and number 8 Nibu. Please prepare. Nibu continues to pester his adversary, asking, little girl, aren't you scared? Next, we have two very different combatants. Nibu, mighty and strong, and Pan, who is only 7 years old. How will this battle end? Nibu then asks Pan which finger she wants him to use to crush her. Taunting her, he puts his hand in her face and she says, I can choose which finger, and promptly grabs his thumb and throws him to the ground. As Nibu struggles to get up, the crowd begins to chant Pan's name. Her grandmother and parents couldn't be more proud. But ever the realist, Vegeta thinks to himself that that's not unusual for somebody of Saiyan lineage. Nibu's got up! The battle continues! Now angry, Nibu charges Pan with what the announcer calls a special headbutt attack. But in beautiful poetic irony, Pan uses a single finger to stop him. The announcer goes on in disbelief as the crowd continues to chant Pan's name. Getting a good view, Pan asks why he has so many dots on his head before saying, let me add one for you, as she grinds her finger into his scalp. How dare you! Realizing the man's getting angry, she says, fine, I don't want to play with you anymore, and flicks him so hard he goes flying off stage. The look on the announcer's face allures that he forgot about Pan's last tournament, where she did nearly the same thing against Wild Tiger. As Nibu hits the ground, the entire stadium celebrates Pan's victory. Well, almost everyone, as Mr. Satan can't believe his granddaughter is that strong. In Chi-Chi's head, she thinks the first 50 million Zenny are right on track. Get ready for the fifth battle! Number 9 AJ versus number 10 Krillin! Now you're going to taste my power. Ugh. Well then, let's do this, before I fall asleep. Dashing towards each other, Krillin effortlessly wins. Next up is Goten and Trunks. They're best friends and were both finalists in the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai Junior competition. Chi-Chi and Bulma get into their usual passive-aggressive quips at each other, as Vegeta gets into his usual Saiyan royalty nonsense. Goku appears to be the only curious party. Combatants begin! As the boys eye each other down, the tension is just as high in the stands as it is on the stage. Pan wishes her uncle luck as the two charge each other. Wow, these contestants are definitely of the same level. Goku remarks how they've both improved and this will be a great match, but Vegeta's pride isn't having any of it, saying that Trunks will still definitely win. On the contrary, Trunks thinks to himself that giving it his all will not be enough, as he takes off into the air, leaving Goten to wonder what he's up to. Reaching into his pocket, he believes if Goten follows him up there, then he's done. It becomes apparent that Trunks intends to cheat using super concentrated pepper. Yelling, "Well, are you afraid to come up here?" Goten takes the bait and beelines towards him. Inhaling the pepper, Trunks takes this as the opportunity to attack. Landing an elbow, Goten then calls him out on this cheating, but Trunks tries to argue that fighting isn't just about strength, it's also about strategy. Even though this is definitely cheating and he should be disqualified from the tournament. Getting mad, Goten transforms into a Super Saiyan, much to the disapproval of everybody. "Goten, you're forgetting our rules! No transforming into Super Saiyan!" Realizing his mistake, he instantly powers down. "Alright, let's call it even. You transformed once, I tricked you once." While the mothers seem to act like this is the end of the world, both fighters return to the ground. In the back, Krillin comments to Goku that it's nice having Oob around because it'll shake things up a little bit. The last few tournaments have just been the usual crew. Goku says that if Oob's inner power can be stimulated, he can become as strong as Majin Buu. "Son, Piccolo, what are you doing here?" "Something's wrong. 6 Dragon Balls have gone missing. I feel like something's about to happen. I purposely came here to ask you, do you still have the 4-star ball?" "Yeah, it's always with me. Why? Something's gonna happen again?" "Yes, I have this uneasy feeling. I keep feeling a great key spying on us." During this conversation, the boys continue to fight in the ring. Wow! Whoa, where are they? Why can't we see them? Fighting at such a speed the normal human eye can't pick up, everybody can only hear the battle. Let me finish this! Just keep dreaming! Charging once again, the boys clash heads, before transforming into a very grotesque creature. Although not typical, the boys have fused, leading to universal confusion to everybody watching. Except maybe Majin Buu, who normally doesn't try to think anyway. Even more confused is the audience. Catching Goku's attention away from Piccolo, he says out loud, "They fused? They've become so ugly! Unbelievable!" Their ki has become very strong and very similar. Moreover, they have mastered the fusion technique. It seems that just colliding with each other was sufficient to fuse. But this kind of fusion can never reach a perfect form. But their ki right now is way stronger than when they fused to fight Majin Buu. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an unexpected turn of events. The 2 participants have disappeared, and a weird fat guy appeared on the stage. Wow, the fat guy is fighting himself? Dumbass, I'll kill you! Ouch, you hit my nose! Why did you fuse with me? It's you fused with me! After beating each other up within the fusion, the 2 finally separate, still not able to make heads or tails over who was doing what. The fat guy was actually a merger of the 2 of them! Back in the regular bodies, they leave the crowd in disbelief once more. Still talking trash with plenty of gas left in the tank, the 2 go back at it before the announcer stops the fight, stating that their time is up. What? But we don't have a winner yet! The announcer brings out the judges to decide who's victorious. Please, judges, decide on the winner! For me, it's the purple-haired guy. No! It's clearly the black-haired guy. The purple-haired guy had a disadvantage of being shorter, so it's him! The black-haired guy endured more, so he's the winner! With the judges at a standstill, the announcer tells everybody to stand by and they'll find out a verdict soon. The moms do their thing once more, and as the judges still can't come to an agreement, the announcer believes this is a task for a champion, the savior of the world, the hero of humanity, the great Mr. Satan! What? I have to decide. As Mr. Satan clearly couldn't even see the battle, he thinks to himself what he needs to do, though he confidently strolls out to the stage. I will ensure everyone's satisfaction. I will judge fair and just. The crowd eats up Mr. Satan's speech as Goten and Trunks wonder what he's going to decide. The great Mr. Satan will definitely know how to judge this match fair and square. How to judge this? If I let Trunks win, Pain and Videl will never forgive me. If Goten wins, Vegeta and Trunks will squash me. What should I do? Let me think. Mr. Satan is definitely a respectable world champion. He is in deep thought, and he has walked around the participants 10 times already. I'm sure he will come to a fair solution. Finally coming up with an idea, Mr. Satan asks to see the boy's injuries. Looking at Trunks, you look seriously wounded. Mr. Satan, I suppose you didn't forget our exhibition match after the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai's Junior finale, huh? Back then, this kid hit me hard. Goten! Wow, you don't look any better than him. Your eyes are swollen. With that statement, Trunks thinks he's got this in the bag, but Mr. Satan is still wondering how he should do this. That's when he comes up with his best idea yet. It seems like this match is definitely a difficult one to judge. Even the great Mr. Satan seems troubled. But no worries, he'll come up with a solution soon. In order to better understand the power of each combatant, Mr. Satan is now interrogating them. Mr. Satan then asks the boys if they know Jenkin, also known as rock, paper, scissors. And of course, they both know the game. Having decided, he announces to the crowd that they will play Jenkin to decide on the winner. And despite it having no precedent and no business in martial arts, the announcer can't help but love the idea. The boys get ready as it will be a best out of 3 match. Trunks wins the first round! Son Goten wins round 2! It's a tie! This is very exciting! Bulma and Chi-Chi continue to hold their breath as the final round of rock, paper, scissors commences. That's when Trunks decides to play some head games, saying he's sure that Goten will go for scissors again. Sure enough, Goten thinks to himself that, yeah, that's exactly what the plan was. But is he just trying to trick him? Or should he actually use scissors? What should he do now? Reading Goten like a book, Trunks believes he has this won. Go! Goten indeed throws scissors, and Trunks rock. Ah, you fooled me! You lose, Goten. Mr. Satan's unprecedented method has yielded results! Trunks wins!